Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. This video is a banger. The story here is the worst news the Democrats have had in a long time and is absolutely going to prove to you that Joe Biden has lost it. He's lost the election before it even began. This is wild. Really quickly, if you're new, please subscribe, smash that like, leave a comment, whatever. All helps the algorithm. But first, I want to share with you a video. Kari Lake had shared this on Twitter and said, watch this.
The politics are an ongoing debate between Azad Ahmadi, member of the Georgia Black Republicans, and his girlfriend Alexandra, a registered Democrat, who at times sit on opposite sides of the aisle.
So even though you have political differences, it's not a deal breaker.
No, it's not a deal breaker.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
So in 2008 and 2012, you voted for
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
2016.
I voted for Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton.
2020.
Donald Trump.
Biden.
And who will you vote for in 2024?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Do you see that? They both voted for Barack Obama. Then he voted for Trump. She still voted for Clinton. He voted for Trump. She voted for Biden. Now they're both voting for Trump. And this is a trend that is taking place. This is a seismic shift, people. Don't kid yourself for a second. So my friend Kanakoa, the Great, shared this on X. He said, new Black, Latino, poor, and working class Americans are increasingly shifting away from Democrats and towards Republicans, according to recent data from the Financial Times. A New York Times poll released last week revealed that President Biden's lead over former President Trump among non-whites has narrowed to less than 10 points. This is a stark contrast to the nearly 50-point lead he held in 2020. People, that is a 40-point shift. This trend is unmistakable, and reputable and long-standing surveys such as Gallup and America's National Election Surveys, which show a significant decline in the percentage of Black and Latino voters identifying as Democrats over the past decade. Look at this graph. So you can see this is shifting away from Democrats and towards Republicans. And look at the last, since 2016 to 2024, just in the last 8 years, how much this has changed. The Democrats' historical advantage with Black and Latino voters is rapidly fading and has now reached its lowest point since the 1960s. In a noteworthy shift during the 2020 election, the wealthiest third of Americans favored the Democrats over Republicans for the first time. If you recall, in elections past, they were always saying that the Republicans were the party of the rich. But now what we are seeing is working class voters lining up behind Republicans, as technocrats are obviously not only just Democrat people, but totalitarian and wanting to censor everything you say. Over the past decade, America's middle class and poorest demographics has shifted away from the Democrats and towards the Republican, while the wealthiest third of Americans now favor Democrats. And you can see that in this chart. So this is the latest poll showing Democrats going backwards faster with Black and Latino voters than any other demographic. So they've lost 25 points with Black voters, 20 points with Hispanic voters, and so on. The only place they're gaining it is white college educated and old folks. I mean, white non-college are going back to, this is wild. This is, again, people, it's a seismic shift. And if you want further evidence, look at this trend in Gallup's long-running poll series. Now, these differences aren't quite as stark, but this is not whether or not they vote for Joe Biden. This is whether or not they identify as Democrat. And many of them are still going to identify as Democrat, yet still vote against Joe Biden. That's how bad it is. In fact, I've got some more crazy video for you. Check this out. This was from August of last year when Trump was showing up at the courtroom in Atlanta, Georgia. And blacks were lining up the streets saying, "Free Trump." But the best video is coming at the end.
Y'all see it, man. Which one are you in, though? Donald Trump. talking about they got everybody. Look at that fucked up.
But now I have solid gold throwback video of Joe Biden, and I think more of this is surfacing. That's why I ask you to share this content and let people see what Joe Biden has actually said and how, quite frankly, racist the guy is. These clips are unbelievable. Quickly, go check out my sponsor, MyPillow, as well. MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
So here we have a clip where all Asians and Latinos and probably black people are poor, but they're just as smart as white kids.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It's one of my favorites. You ain't black. And you see how demeaning and angry he got with Charlemagne for daring to ask any questions of the great Panjandrum, Joe Biden?
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Yeah. That's a storybook, man. I mean, you've got this first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and nice and good looking guy. Do you know what's so funny about that? He had been hanging around with these other quote unquote civil rights leaders like Al Sharpton. Apparently Al Sharpton wasn't any of those things. He wasn't mainstream, not articulate. I'm not arguing that point.
He's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Unchain Wall Street. And as soon as he gets a boo, he's got to let him know they're going to put you back in chains. This is weird stuff. But see, the more it gets exposed, and then the more that black Americans see how Trump's policies positively affected them and how he got rid of long-term incarceration for minor offenses. These are the kinds of things that are turning black Americans towards Trump, turning Latino Americans towards Trump. And Latino Americans are pro-border wall people. Anybody who's here legally does not want an open, porous border where criminals and gangs are allowed to stream in. That's not what the majority of America wants, no matter what color your skin is. Okay? This is, as you watch this stuff, you are seeing something dramatic play out, something that Trump did that nobody else in the Republican Party could do, which was take and pull back from the Democrat coalition. See, because their game was always to slice and dice and play identity politics. Well, now they've got all these different groups of people that they're trying to hold together while they cater to technocrats in the tech sector who want to take away your rights. They want to force jab people in black communities, but they've already seen people being used as guinea pigs on the continent of Africa. For years, that's what Big Pharma has done and run test pilots over there. You guys know this. You've seen some of the past reporting on that. But it's wild. This is what's happening. We are winning, folks. Do go check out my sponsor, MyPillow, mypillow.com/lumberjack. We still have the free shipping. The percale sheet deal that he's running for Lumberjack audience, only $39.98 for the king size set. That's a phenomenal deal for a tightly woven sheet set. And also the towels are fantastic. They're absorbent. They really work. All right. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.